Let's begin!
Initiating launch sequence.
System coming online.
So, how should I start this off? Real quick, good morning, everybody. Also, afternoon and evening, the crazy one. Wish you a beautiful and an awesome, what is it today? Wednesday. And welcome to another episode of the Xbox International Podcast. Man, Silent Cypher, it's been a while since we hanged out here on the show. I guess schedule has been busy for all of us, but at least, I could catch you today early in the morning and do a regular XBI episode, man. It's so much fun to do this. How you doing, bro? And what's been happening?
I'm good. I'm good. It's like you said, it's been chaos as far as schedule goes. But yeah, it's great to be back. Obviously not on our normal scheduling here, and who knows when we'll actually get to our normal scheduling again? Because I feel like Wednesdays have just become very full.
Very cool.
But hopefully things will mellow out at some point. But we're here today. Chat. It's good to see some folks in there already. Raichi, Voidrat, and Talos, and a Jacob Novik. Good
Yeah.
morning, gentlemen. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, what's up, Andrew Tanner? How you cooking too? Talu's the man with the braid. What's up, man? It's always good to see chat here in the morning, just hanging out, having some fun with us. But Silence, since you're on the top of the screen, tell us what you've been playing lately, brother. What you been doing?
Oh man. Okay, so I finally rolled credits yesterday on Chronos New Dawn, which was really good. It was really good. I I know obviously on the back end I've mentioned some of my critiques of the game. Personally, the thing that I will warn people with is like the last couple hours feels like it's kind of filler. So just brace yourself for that. Unfortunately, that's just one of those things that you run into in it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game for the most part. Had really cool like Silent Hill meets like I don't know, Lost in Space type of vibes almost, with like some very interesting story beats. So that was really good. I actually also just picked up one yesterday that I've been playing around with. If I can find the name of it, which I have to bear with me for a second because I just got it yesterday. So I found a new one that's kind of like a Vampire Survivors. It's one called Fatal Zone. It's on there. I think it's like $7 or $8 on the store, but it's basically that same type of idea with Vampire Survivors, leveling up the different characters, having the different powers and all that stuff you can pick up during your run. Although there's actually some new stuff. There's some base building stuff in there as well, where you're upgrading like certain facilities and stuff to make it so you get special powers, special characters, abilities, stuff like that. So I've been playing a bit of that. And besides that, man, I've just been catching up on watching a bunch of horror movies because we're in
Oh,
Shocktober now, right? Like we are
yes.
in my time of the year. So yeah, just super stoked. But how about you? What have you been playing?
Okay, what have I been playing? Well, I mean, I've been just stuck with Helldivers, trying to grow, level up like the whole ship. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to playing single player games again because it's been like I need to take a break, solid. Sometimes we sit here, we play all these games, but it gets to a point that you're like, okay, now I need a real break. Now I need to relax, and let me play a little bit of multiplayer, have a little bit of fun, get some air, out of the head. Because at the end of the day, playing the single players, of course, are fun, but it gets to a point like it's so much, I need a little break. Let me go hang out with my friends. Let me go blow up some stuff.
Need some cold head again. Yep.
Yeah, we need some cold head, yes.
Mhm.
that thing's gonna be stuck here with me forever, right?
Probably.
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 Okay, okay. So, Silent, we have a couple things to talk about today because it's been one hell of a week, crazy week. I mean, I seriously don't understand what the heck is going on. I mean, it seems like me, they just put like literally they press the nuke button on Xbox. Pretty fun stuff this week. Just everybody watch how everyone is reacting to this. I mean, they went to no hardware. Call of Duty taking a loss of $300 million. I'm like, huh? I mean, where do they keep making like? Where did they find this info? I mean, I wish I could get this info just like they do, and go out there and post and talk about it like it's a big situation out there, and go ahead and send their Xbox because heck, I mean that gets the clicks, right? It's insane. But let's start off with the very beginning of everything, Silent, because since this is like pretty much a week news show, so yeah, we're gonna talk about what's been happening out there and have a little bit of fun. Yes, sir. Now, where is my one note? Hold on, thought I had it up, but no. Here we go. So, Silent, let's start off at the very beginning when it all began with. Oh, I'm not signing in. What? Uh oh. Hold on. Oh, God. Bear with me,
Man,
chat. Bear with me, chat. Just some
I,
stuff
I,
that happens.
I blame Louis' iPhone for this.
Yeah, I do too. All
I'm
right.
sure it's not actually related at all, but I blame it.
All
'Cause
right, here we go. I'm in. So let's start off with the price hikes. So, I mean, this is how it all started, right? The day before, I did a show super happy, that we saw that Xbox, made 5 billion in revenue with Game Pass, and all that stuff. I mean, that was some pretty good news. And like always, Silent, like always, like always, like always. I don't know what kind of rake is that because I don't know. It's like, is it that big that they need to step on it every time they put up a good news? I mean, I don't understand. So right during that show, we have the price increase happen. We see that Game Pass Ultimate comes from 20 to 30. We see that the PC tier goes from 11.99 to 17.99. And what they did was they added you Fortnite, the premium, and they also added what was it? Ubisoft, credits. Right? I mean, not Ubisoft credits, Ubisoft classics, right? Sorry about that. So, Silent, my first question to you, brother, how did you feel when you first saw this? I mean, I want to know how you felt.
Um, so I mean, of course, like we've got our little chat off to the side, obviously, so people don't always get to see the inside baseball. When I saw it, I was not enthused by any means. I was like, huh. Yeah, this seems like a really bad time to be dropping this. Like, given the current just the current situation across the globe in general, be it with like all the different tariffs, with all of the prices and everything. Just one of those things where it's like, man, it really was not a great time to do this. I feel like, um, I mean, sure, I get it, and this is par for Microsoft when it comes to their price increases on Game Pass. Is we saw it a year or two ago when they did that last update. They put the price increase in right before all the big games started coming out. So this is par for the course. They do this on a regular basis when they actually do their price increases. Is they target it as you're going into all those big games. So it's harder for you to be like, oh, I'm not going to bother with that, because you see all the games are there and you're like, well, but if I keep it, then I can play all these games, right? And we know that we've got Call of Duty. We have was it Seeker? I think it is. A couple
Secret.
of Is it Seeker? Is that the name of the other one coming out?
Mm.
Damn it, I'm forgetting the name. But there's like 3 or 4 games that are coming out here within the next like few weeks to a month. And so when the price hit, I was like, all right, I don't appreciate it myself. I understand the timing, I suppose. But
Mm-hmm.
again, like still kind of awful timing, just given the current climate. But at the same time, and this is kind of selfish, but Keeper. That's what it is. Keeper, not
Keeper,
Seeker.
keeper,
I don't know
seeker.
why I was mixing that. My bad.
Mm.
Uh, Thank you, Rachie. Um, so for me, it was a little bit of a selfish thing in the fact that I was like, all right, well, yeah, I get that the price went up, and I don't appreciate that. I look at what they added to it, and like it's great. You can try and justify it all the ways you want, but
Yeah.
Ubisoft Classics, let's be honest, the majority of us here in the chat, yourself as well, if
Hmm.
you went through your library right now and you looked at the games that were offered on Ubisoft Classics, you
Hmm.
probably have 90 to 95% of what's offered.
Yep. It seems like it was like 20. Remember when Game Pass came out like in 2018, and like when you looked at it, you're like, "Well, but I have all these games. Why should I sub?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if had it been Ubisoft Plus, that would have been a different situation. It that
Mhm.
would have been a value for sure. Like
Exactly.
I know even when I was talking with Boom, he was saying, if you had done something like Ubisoft Plus, that would have worked out because that would have saved him $10 in the process, which would have
Hmm.
kind of balanced out the membership cost.
Hmm.
But again, neither here nor there. It's what it is. Uh, but then the Fortnite Pass stuff, it's like we played Fortnite in the past. It was fun. I'm kind of past it at this point. I'm playing other stuff. And so bringing in that Fortnite crew thing just doesn't really have any value to me.
Yeah.
Um, I think more than anything, it, this stuff that they're trying to push in there to try and create the value or whatever, besides obviously like the games we get day one, it's just one of those things where it's like it should have been spun off as a separate tier. Now
Hmm.
I know that doesn't allow them to force that price hike because a lot of people would have given them the middle finger and just been like, "Yeah, I don't want those things, so I'm not going to pay you for that."
Yeah.
Um, but it is what it is. They made the choice. They doubled down on it as well, like with the marketing, with all of the like when you turn on your Xbox fresh from a reboot, it brings you up that update notifying you about all the changes that have been made and what
Hmm.
value you're going to get.
Yeah.
Um, but again, selfish me thinking about it. I've got my Game Pass stacked for about 2 to almost 3 years at this point.
Good.
So I don't have to worry about paying any price again until like summer of 2027 or I think beginning of 2028, something like that.
Hmm.
So the thing is, and I've talked about this previously, but the big thing is like being a smart consumer about it, being a savvy consumer. There's plenty of ways to get Game Pass cheaper than what they're trying to sell it to you for. Uh, be it Eniba, be it like CD keys or some of those other ones. There are options that you can have and that you can utilize to get a lower cost.
Hmm.
If you want to pay $30 a month, you're more than welcome to do it. But ever since Game Pass came out, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm smart with it and I try and watch for the deals. So even since 2017 or 2018 when Game Pass launched, I've always been working on the deals. I've been trying to find that angle
Hmm.
because it makes sense. Like I still buy games separate. So if I'm not paying very much for Game Pass, it makes it easy for me to go buy those other games as well.
Hmm.
So for me, it makes sense. It doesn't bother me too much the pricing right now because again, I'm not going to pay you $30 a month. Generally, if you're being a smart consumer about it, you can get your monthly for about 14 to 18,
Hmm.
14 to $20 a month for
Hmm.
the different deals that are offered.
Hmm.
So for me, I don't feel like there's any reason not to do a little bit of research, look, find the codes where you can get them on discount, pay
Hmm.
attention to the holidays. Again, we're heading towards Black Friday right now.
Yep.
We're going to start seeing deals again. Like this is the time to pay attention to it because you can get in for a good price and then you don't have to pay for it for like a year or two. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I conflicted, right? Because for the general user, like I talked to RSJ and some other folks, and for them, they looked at this and they're like, based on what tiers are added to this, what features are added to this,
Hmm.
doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm going to draw back and go down to like the next level, which I get. I get.
Hmm.
It's like everyone's going to have to make up their decision at the end of the day as to what makes the most sense for them.
Yeah.
If you're playing one or two games a year total, then maybe it's not worth it for you.
Yep.
And I get that. Like I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but if you want to be smart about it and if you're going to have Game Pass anyways, make sure you get the deals as you go. Uh,
Yep.
but if you opt to go one or two tiers down, it is what it is. Like the ecosystem's not going anywhere. Even if hardware is kind of shifting to a different thing,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem's not going anywhere anytime soon. So whatever you decide, it's still going to be here if you decide you want to go back to it.
Yep. Oh man, Jacob Nova with a 100 sex super cha 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 cha. He says people say rumor next gen Xbox is X, but forget that if Xbox or MS does it, does it. They own AMD money and from a committed 10-year contract they don't fulfill and will be definitely be sued. Yep. I mean
Yeah.
that's gonna happen. He's just right. You know, it's right. He's right.
Well, breaking Louis, could you imagine breaking that type of contract? Like the thing is like from what it sounds like they're a ways into this thing, or
Hmm.
they've already been making some chips or prepping.
Yeah. Imagine that.
AMD AMD would put a large monetary
Ooh,
penalty if
penalty.
you tried to
Yeah.
cancel a deal like that.
Ooh,
And the
yeah.
thing is like even if their plans change a little bit for their hardware and stuff,
Hmm.
it doesn't mean they can't use those chips for other things as well.
Exactly. Yep. 100%. 100%.
So,
So my next question to you, son, is this because already I talked about this on I think it was on Monday or Thursday. I think I talked about it because I think the whole price tag came in Wednesday. I think it was, and Thursday I did sit down and have a talk with the chat, and mention a couple things right about it because I was like, man, why don't they like seriously? I said this. PC has like a cool tier, right? They have like a pretty cool tier, even though it's not that expensive. Why don't we, the Xbox fans over here on Xbox, right? The guys who've been pushing the brand, the guys who've been fighting for the brand all these years, spending all the time, we should get like a special tier. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Silent. Like I said it before here on the show. I use like 70% of the um of the ultimate. What I mean by 70%, like the rewards that I get are like if I want to use the rewards, all I have for a special buy is like a Sea of Thieves skin or something like that as of now, right? Because I mean that can change along the way. That can happen. Also, I can't use cloud. I can't use cloud. I mean, cloud is not available in my country, and I've been every time I see a post out there from Nadella, I keep saying, "Where is the Xbox Cloud here in Dominican?" Because we don't have it. So now another thing that got taken away was the VPN because with VPN I could usually log in, my cell phone or other places and get to use the cloud. Now I can't use it because they blocked that. So if I'm literally like using the 70% of the service, right? Why don't you give us like a tier with the day one games just for Xbox, not having cloud or anything? I mean, that would be nice. That would be a nice gesture to the guys in Xbox. I mean, what do you feel about that?
yeah, again, it kind of goes back to what I was touching on is like,
Yeah.
I look at this and I feel like it should have just been a spin-off tier. Like, do I think we need to have like 7 or 8 different tiers of Game Pass? No. But at the same time, if you're going to try and push these other things into it and you're going to have this like ultimate god tier that now you're going to be charging 30 or $35 or whatever
Mhm.
for, then give people the option to get similar stuff or piecemeal it, right? Like you have the
Yeah.
option on other services where you can go in, you can say, okay, I want this part of it, but I don't want this part, right?
Yeah.
You
That'd be
look at
nice.
something like Disney or Hulu, where it's like Disney, Hulu, and I think HBO at one point, they kind of get bundled together in
Hmm.
certain deals. And you
Yeah.
have the option of going in and being like, okay, well, I want Disney, but I don't want Hulu or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then you end up getting the deals with other items. I think honestly that's what we should be seeing for Game Pass at this point. Like if you're going to have
Yeah.
these add-ons that you're trying to push in there, like okay, if someone wants to pay for that, that's cool. But if someone's not interested in Ubisoft classics and doesn't give a good damn about Fortnite, then don't push it. Like don't push it on them. And I understand that they're trying to make it where like Xbox is the place for Fortnite.
Hmm.
But dude, it's Fortnite. Like
Hmm.
it's going to have an audience and maybe we're not the audience and maybe it's okay if you provide another tier that I don't have to pay for that nonsense. Um I don't know. I mean, I if you asked me a couple years ago, I would have been like, no, they're just going to keep to 1 or 2 different tiers. But obviously, we've seen them break it up as time's gone
Hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, we just saw some of the rumors about how there's going to be a free ad based streaming tier potentially. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
gotten confirmed at this point in time, but we've heard rumor that that's a thing, right? So there's obviously plenty of tier opportunities or options. Why not open it up a little bit more? So if someone doesn't want classics, if they don't want that stuff, but they just want the day one, let them pay for that. Charge them 25 and say, hey, we're going to get rid of this other stuff. And that way, maybe someone looks at it and says, well, I'm paying 25 and I'm getting the day one access. But if I pay
Mm-hmm.
30, then I get classics and I get the Fortnite crew stuff as well. So then 30 feels like more of a value.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a value to someone, then cool. Like just
Yeah.
I think options. We've talked about it before, is like options are the key.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Locking someone into it and just saying like, nah, this is what it is. It just doesn't. I don't know. Everything feels so customizable nowadays with memberships. It feels like
Yeah.
you could make it work.
Yeah. Also, give us like a year pass. Like, if you want to pay for it for like a year for a cheaper price.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean that would be a nice one too. I mean, I don't know why, because they had it before. I remember back in the day
Well,
that
I'll
there
tell
was one.
you. I'll tell
Dang.
you exactly why, Louis. Because
Wow.
I've
Okay.
heard you. I've heard you mention this a few times over the
Yeah.
last few days, and I wanted to type it in, but I
Yeah.
was busy and couldn't type stuff in the
Okay.
chat at
Good.
the time.
All right.
Okay, so because I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing,
Yeah.
is why don't they do a year? There's a
Yeah.
reason why they don't do a year. It's because if they do a price increase, then you don't end up having to pay for that price increase for X amount of months. So Louis, say you got a year today,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And because you were already part of Game Pass or whatever, you've got the you're grandfathered in to where the price doesn't change
Mm-hmm.
until I think November, right? So if you buy a year right now,
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting them out of like 11 months that they could have been charging you the extra amount.
Yeah. I get you. I
They
get you.
don't want that.
They don't want that.
And so why did we also see the 6 month go away? Same type of thing. Is because they're trying to make it so you have to pay for those things at the higher price by getting rid of
Mm-hmm.
those. Like, yes, a lot of people will stack their Game Pass and they'll do it like we did, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are just going to set on renew and they're just going to ignore it. They're going to forget that it's there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the primary things. Another thing also is like if you have to keep renewing or you have to keep getting codes like for 3 months constantly, maybe you get tired of dealing with that and you're like, well, I'll just let auto renew.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, like I think there was a business purpose for it that is more sinister than we'd like, but it makes sense financially. Is like
Mm-hmm.
if they do it this way, it allows them to get more return on their investment.
Uh, so Jacob Noah says, even if humans want to pay less by nature, price increases help Xbox to stay alive. Hmm.
Wait, what? Sorry, I
He says, even if humans want to pay less by nature, price increases help Xbox to stay alive. He says,
yeah, no. So here's the thing. Um, again, it's going to go back to value.
yeah,
And if you tell me the Game Pass or that UB Classics and Fortnite Crew justifies $10, that's fine. If that's what you think personally, that's awesome. If
mhm,
Microsoft tells me that, I can tell them that they can shove it sideways, and I will continue to not pay them for it
yeah,
because that's my option as a consumer. Whether that looks like me dropping my tier down, or again being a savvy consumer, going in, finding the deals where they are, and
hmm
not paying Microsoft for that extra. Because again, I don't see the value for UB Classics or for Fortnite Crew.
yeah. If it was the plus, it would have been
There's
better.
Yeah, if you had
Yeah,
given me plus, that would have made sense. I could have understood that.
hmm
That's fine. Again, I'm still going to look for the best deal because I'm a consumer and I want to spend as little as I have to for these things.
yeah.
You can call me a broke boy all you want, but here's my thing. Why would I pay more if I don't have to?
Yep, that's the
As a
thing, though.
consumer.
As a consumer, yeah, because at the end of the day, Like I always said to the chat before, we gotta vote with our wallet. We gotta protect our wallet. So if you don't want to pay more, I mean, it's a good thing that you can find deals, and it's a good thing. Like I said, if we had like a good special tier for us, especially since we've been out here fighting for the band for years, right? We should have gotten a good tier, and we would have gladly paid. Like for example, $20, or I don't know if the sweet spot is 25. I don't know, but like take away the options. Like for example, if I don't use XCloud, I don't use XCloud. If I don't use
Well,
Fortnite, take away Fortnite, I don't mind it.
you're
That's
you're gonna pay you're gonna pay for the cloud no matter what at this point.
exactly, yeah.
Hargeet brought this up. Shout
Yeah.
out to him from one of the previous shows when I was listening to him. He made the comment, right? Is like when this started off, um, Microsoft was like, "Hey, it's a new thing. We're starting.
Yeah.
We'll flip the bill. That's no big deal. We'll pay for cloud." Well, the thing is now they have shifted to a point, and we know what the trajectory looks like for their future. So they're like, hey, cloud's up and running. It's way more functional than it used to be. And now we're going to charge you for it because we're
Hmm.
done footing the bill. Um,
Exactly.
and it is what it is. Like, that's cloud is going to be a thing. Hopefully, at some point, cloud will be a thing for you so you can actually use it. Because I think it's ridiculous that you're getting charged and you can't use it. Like, if you have the option to use it and you're just not using it, that's one thing. But if you can't even use it because of the situation, that's not ideal. Um, I did want to touch on, so Dustin Lambert made a comment in the chat. He said
Yes.
when Game Pass first came out, games cost around 50 million to make a game. Nowadays it costs 200 million, etc.,
Hmm.
like more or whatever. How do we feel Microsoft could recoup these losses? So I think one thing right off the bat, and Lou, I'm sure you would agree with me on this.
Hmm.
If Microsoft would learn how to actually market their games,
Yes, please do so.
if Microsoft would actually market their games, find
Market the
someone who's
service.
strategic about marketing and gets
Hmm.
that out there, they would see more people picking up the games.
Yes.
When you don't pay attention to the marketing, when you don't mind the marketing, you're not going to see as much traction. Look at how Sony has gotten to where they're at, right?
Hmm.
Like, love it or hate it, Sony has constantly advertised and is pretty good at advertising generally. I mean, they convinced a bunch of shills to buy a system for $750, right? Barely has any games on it, but guess what? They sold the shit out of it to you. And a whole bunch of people bought it. Why? Because they like Sony and it was right in their face all the time. Microsoft does not advertise well. So
Hmm.
that would be one thing right off the bat that I'd recommend. But
Yep.
another thing I would say is we don't have to have only AAA games.
Yep.
Like, most of the
Please.
ones that are at that
Oh,
tier are AAA games. Remember 360 when we had all the AA games?
hmm.
I miss that
We
because
all
it
do.
gave people the opportunity to get more games out there into the market. Didn't matter about the cost as much. And we had lots of games that were AA that were better than the AAA games.
Hmm.
And you could still do that. And yes, you can still make a game at a decent budget. The problem is there's usually so much extra stuff at this point. It's either top heavy in the dev studio where you've got people that are like, oh, I need another sports car out in the parking lot. Yeah, we heard that nonsense.
Oh, we have many times.
You know, it's some asshole that's sitting there saying stuff like that. Or it's a situation where you're management heavy, where it's like, okay, you got like 10 bosses that you have to report to. You don't need 10 bosses to have to report to. That's top heavy. You need to clean out some of the management and have more focus on actually getting the game out at a decent
Mhm.
time. If you give them the studio, you give them the resources, and you give them reasonable options, they could get games out for cheaper cost. It's just that there's been so much extra crap added, so much extra bloat added. Um,
Mhm.
Now, that being said, I'm not saying you have to market until you've marketed more than the cost of the game, because we looked at Spider Man 2, I think it was, and wasn't that like a $200 million advertising budget?
Hmm.
something like that. And the game ended up costing somewhere around the same, which is insane. Like, you don't need to go that far with it. But if they marketed or did something, just in general, it would help.
That's how it is. I mean, we talked about this plenty of times. Like I keep mentioning it. They need to do a better marketing. Like incredible. I mean, I said this on my show, and I'll say this again. Like one of the things I saw was that this year alone, Game Pass brought in 5 billion revenue. I'm like, so it took them a Call of Duty game to bring in that much cash. Incredible. Just that one game. I mean, I'm sticking to that. That's how I'm seeing it because incredibly, that's the only game that actually really helped push and market even more Game Pass. Because if they got those numbers in, well, it was because of that game. So if they like I always said, it, they would have focused more on marketing their own stuff, like they have to. Please market even more. Show it more love. Go ahead and throw it out there. But I mean, uh
So the only game that we see get a ton of marketing is
yeah,
Call of Duty.
Call of
And
Duty.
of
Yeah.
course that's because basically ActiBliz has been said like, hey, Microsoft owns you now, but you're still going to operate like you're ActiBliz. Like you're still going to do
Mhm,
your thing, which is why like you see the advertising the way it is. Had
mhm,
Microsoft taken over all of the advertising side of house for that, we wouldn't be seeing Call of Duty advertised the way that the way that we do
mhm, mhm,
because Microsoft shits the bed when it comes to marketing.
mhm.
Um, but you did mention the Call of Duty thing and the fact that they ended up losing 300
Oh
million
yes, I
apparently.
was gonna jump into that right now. That's a good one.
Perfect,
Oh Lord,
perfect
yeah,
segue then.
yeah.
So yeah, this one's an interesting one because I don't think they're not recording the overall numbers situation.
Hmm.
The numbers are more complicated than just saying we didn't make 300 million that we could have on the
Hmm.
game.
Hmm.
Because the thing is you've got multiple things at play. You have DLC, you have microtransactions, you have Game Pass subscriptions, right? Like how many Game Pass subscriptions did you get, or how many people did you get retention of Game Pass
Hmm.
by having game or
But
by
yeah.
having Call of Duty in Game Pass?
Hmm.
So yes, you can say like the core game didn't get 300 million that it could have gotten. Well,
Yeah.
sure, but it's also on a service now instead. So then you have to look at the other stuff like, okay, well, how many microtransactions did we sell? The number gets muddy because the revenue is coming from multiple sources, not just
Hmm.
the title.
Hmm.
So I think that's where it gets tricky. Like, and could they have still lost money at this point? And versus like previous years, yeah,
Yeah.
it's highly possible. I mean,
Mhm.
there's always a good possibility of it.
Yeah, but what I find funny though, Silent, is the point of them putting it into the service. I mean, some people did not actually catch that was to make the service grow. That was the point of Call of Duty jumping into Game Pass. That was the whole point. Now, here's the funny part that people seem to ignore. Now, if Call of Duty had a negative, like it did, like they announced that it lost 300 million, and Game Pass, instead of growing, it was a negative also, then that would have been a mind change right there, right? We would have said, "Well, it's not working, get it out of there." But if it did bring in 5 billion in revenue, that's like literally like 70 times more than losing 300, like 300 mil, or I don't know how many times though. But I did the math the other day.
I
But
like your
damn,
math. I like your math.
I did the math the other day. But damn, they made. I mean, they did make all that money back, so it was not a loss as
Well,
they are saying. You know, a
and,
massive
and
loss.
again, it gets tricky because
That
like
is
I'll
tricky. Yeah.
give them because it's separated across multiple revenue points at this point. Again, like it's going to be hard to say like this is how much we actually made off of
Hmm.
this or how much we lost because again, like okay, yeah, you lost 300 million.
Hmm.
Well, no shit, you have the game in Game Pass now.
Yeah.
So of course the core game is not going to sell as much
Yeah.
because now it's in a service. Shocker,
Hmm.
right?
That's how it is.
But it's not black and white. Like it's not
Hmm.
all black and white in the situation because you have to factor all of those different areas of revenue that you possibly brought in the
Mm-hmm.
microtransactions, the Game Pass subscriptions, not even just new Game Pass subscriptions, but maybe just even the retention, the facts that they held people on for multiple months that they wouldn't have normally held on to
Ah.
because they had Call of Duty in that subscription. So
Mm.
it's a muddier thing to try and determine like what the actual net is for Call of Duty, because like you said, they said, "Hey, we made 5 billion in revenue on this thing."
Mm-hmm.
What portion of that is because of Call of Duty? It's hard to say,
It's hard to say.
because you're not going to be able to track every single person and be like, well, this person's intention was they got Game Pass because of Call of Duty.
Yep.
Because maybe they're playing other stuff in the process, which is exactly what Microsoft wants. They
Yep.
want people to come into the ecosystem, play a bunch of other games, and then realize that Game Pass is a value that they don't want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So why so seriously beautiful and awesome $5 super chat 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 chat. He says, hold on. Do PS games have better marketing? Why is Forza Horizon 5 the best selling game on PlayStation? It's actually a good question though.
Because they were hating the game as much as possible all the time
Yeah.
that they saw
Yep.
everyone having fun playing it. Um,
Exactly.
I was actually, you know what, Forza Horizon actually is one of those cases where streaming benefits that game
Mm-hmm.
a ton,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because that thing was being streamed, and I think is still being streamed pretty constantly everywhere. And so, you have people that just happen across this thing and see it, and they're like, "This looks like a lot of fun."
That does.
I'm blasting through the hillside, destroying like cacti or whatever, and just like flying all over the freaking map.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just looks fun. And when people pick it up and they start playing it, like Forza's just got this replay value and this appeal that a lot of games don't have. It's it oozes personality and interest. Whereas like you look at Forza Motorsport, and Forza Motorsport is literally like the white bread, like it's like the saltines of gaming, where it's like, yes, it's really cool and it's very supportive and it has a reason to be there,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have personality. That
Mm-hmm.
game lacks personality. Whereas Forza Horizon is the opposite, like the polar opposite. And so when people see Horizon, as soon as they put their hands on it or they see someone else having fun with it, it spreads like wildfire. And once you play it, it's hard not to talk about it or show it to other people. So I feel like that one organically kind of sold itself in
Yep.
many
That's how it
aspects.
is. That's how it is. Yeah, you're right. 100%. That's how it is. I mean, I just find it hilarious that all of a sudden, Xbox, like I mentioned, got the price hike right with Game Pass in a bad time because it's always bad timing for them. I don't understand why does it always have to be like some bad timing for that, right? And then like all of a sudden, we see all this bad news because Silent, since we talked about the 300 million of Call of Duty, that they gained it elsewhere and all that stuff, it's hard to see. But at the end of the day, we know Microsoft made money by it, right? Because we're seeing Call of Duty being dropped in Game Pass this year also. The next thing is we saw also a hard word conversation, like Jacob number about it earlier. That AMD would sue them, if they break the contract. I mean, hell, that's the truth. And then they brought up like they're not going to do hardware anymore or nothing like that is going to come up. So, real quick, since I know Salasava kind of jumped off real quick, he's going to be back in a second, I think, or I don't know if he's here. But let's see
I'm
what
here.
the.
I'm
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay, you're here? Okay,
I'm
okay.
just eating.
Oh, you're just eating?
Ignore me.
Oh, nice. Oh, sorry. Notice so real quick while you eat. Let me see what the chat has to say.
I just
And,
didn't want to chew in people's ears. So
oh, okay, okay.
I know
So,
some folks are into ASMR, but I'm not just going to assume that everyone wants to hear me eat food.
So Jacob Nova says, no, I mean that people like the Xbox community is out of touch here. Want Xbox to thrive, then Xbox, especially in the inflation times, need to increase price to not lose money. Well, here's the thing though, Jacob. Right now, I know all the companies are gonna keep on raising their prices. And remember what I talked about on Monday? I showed you guys something, and I brought you guys a point here that is being talked about today, is being posted all over the news, right? That I told you guys that not everyone is buying games day one. So that's another situation that's happening. So what can devs do if they already have 5 years into developing these games, or 6 years? They already put a lot of money in there, right? What are they going to do next? Is it either should they increase the prices or keep it at 70 to risk and see if people go out there and buy them? Because that's the next question I keep on asking. Are we going to see $80 games next year, or we're just going to stick to the 70 to the end of the generation? Because this year alone, we saw Nintendo put some games in 80, physical 90. Now, the question is, are all the other devs going to do the same? Because we all saw that Microsoft even said, well, this year we had Outer Worlds 2 coming out at $80, but it decided to decrease the price and keep it at 70. But the question is next year going to be at 80? What do you think, Sally? Do you think that's going to happen? Is it not going to happen? You know,
So here's the thing. Like,
yeah,
Microsoft stepped in it by putting the 80 out there. They got
yeah.
slapped for it. They pulled it back.
Double the back, yeah,
80's not going anywhere though. Let's be honest. And
yeah,
we have a certain company to blame for it. Nintendo. Why?
yep.
Because people will pay for low-end games and still pay $80 for them on that system.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo has the most loyal fan base. Loyal enough to the fact that they will buy cardboard from this company. Expensive, overpriced cardboard. And guess what? Guess what? Nintendo's laughing all the way to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
$80 is not going anywhere. 80 is going to come back. Microsoft may have pulled back the pricing on that right now. It's going to go back up because Nintendo's not going to suddenly go back down to $70. They've tasted what $80 feels like. They like it.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's going to do the same thing. I mean, it's like this is I looked at Silent Hill. I was like, I want to get Silent Hill. I
Mm-hmm.
jumped in and I saw it and it was $80. I was like, you can fuck yourself. I don't want that at $80 right now. Like, I
Which
want that
Silent Hill? Silent Hill F or
Silent Hill F.
really? Hold on.
I think so. When I jumped in, I saw I think it was 80. Maybe that was the deluxe, but I saw it and I was like, nah, we're good. We're good.
Oh, it's at 70. I think it was the deluxe.
Is
Yeah,
it okay? So
yeah,
maybe it was a deluxe.
deluxe.
Um,
Yeah.
but $80 is not going to go away. Um,
Nope.
they may have they may have pulled it back on Outer Worlds. It's gonna come back. When the new Forza comes out, that'll probably be 80. I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
Uh, uh,
And when Gears comes out, that'll probably be 80. Like the 80 is not going to go away. And if you look at it, this is gross because it makes me sad about like childhood. But look back to like the Super Nintendo days
mhm.
and those days,
Yeah.
dude. We were paying like 80 or $90 for a cartridge back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
the fact
were.
that it's been 50, 60, 70 for the last handful of years is actually decent. Like I don't like saying that because I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
more.
Exactly, because that's the thing, though. Because I find it funny too, Silent. Because remember, the other day, I don't know if you saw that tweet out there. I mean, there was some random person tweeting out there saying, "Well, if GTA comes out in 100, would you guys be willing for paying for it?" I'm like, did people did actually go answer that? Because I don't know if they can notice something. Because I what I learned is this could probably be a guy that's working for Rockstar, or is someone out there who gets something from Rockstar, and he's like, okay, let me put this out there to see reactions from people. And so people are like, yeah, I'll pay 100 for this game. No, I won't. And once they go in there and see that if the majority say they'll pay 100, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say it. I also seen people on podcasts saying that they paid $100 for a game. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why do you guys keep saying stuff like this? Because this data companies do collect. They collect that data and say, well, let's go ahead and take a risk. Let's go ahead and put the 100 out there. Let's go ahead, and see what happens. And if people go ahead and buy it, then they're gonna keep it. That's what they're gonna do. I also heard someone out there, will say their name, saying that that they will buy $1,000 consoles. I'm like, no, why you say this? For God's sakes, please don't bring this stuff up. That's insane. That's insane, Sally. I mean, hearing that
I
stuff, I'm
mean,
like, oh Lord.
I can't say too much on the expensive consoles
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna lie. I've got an Xbox ROG Ally X coming.
Oh no, no, but that's a handheld though. That's a different story though.
The the justification I use for myself, and
Yeah.
you, like you can go ahead and be like, "You're the problem," and
No.
yes, I am the problem to an extent. But the way I look at it, and I kind of mentioned it to you guys on the back end, is like, even if Microsoft tanked this and Xbox just dropped off the face of the earth, that system is still perfectly functional because I would still have access to all of my PC stuff. So
Oh.
I would then just have all that stuff
Yeah.
available anyways, even if Xbox wasn't in the picture. They're not going anywhere, but if that type of thing happened, that handheld still has it still has longevity in the fact that it's literally just a portable computer. I can hook into the TV. I can play Steam, EA, GOG, whatever, and it's just fine.
So wait. He's Music 72 says, "Careful, Louis. People will fight you that handhelds are consoles." Listen, handhelds are a video game device, right? We can say that. But home console, not really,
So,
because basically it's a handheld. It's for you to take everywhere. Like look, $1,000 for the handheld, right? Because people are like saying that that price is pretty high. When you sit down, you think, like I always say, with cold head, right? You sit down with a chilled head, sitting there, thinking about like, okay, what benefits does this $1,000 machine can give me? Well, you got Steam. Steam has 100,000 games, right? It has 100,000 games. You can use it for work. You can use it pretty much as a laptop. You can use it pretty much as a whole bunch of things because that's the benefits of having a handle because you got Windows in it. So basically, like buying a small laptop. So it's a good thing. It's not that awful. Like looking at it, like what if I bought a gaming laptop for like 2 or 300 bucks? It pretty much is the same as a handheld. So it isn't that bad. It isn't that bad. But like a console, I'd say it's pretty much more like a PC type of thing. I mean, I don't know what you think, Simon.
so I I don't I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really care too much, right? Like it's a handheld that has Windows.
Yeah,
It can
exactly.
serve as a computer if you need it for that.
Hmm.
I've seen a bunch of people who have used their ROG allies, even just like the base ROG allies from a couple years ago. They use them as their system. I
Hmm.
mean, look at Sean. Sean 786, like Sean and Dirt, right? I think
Yeah.
Sean actually uses his Xbox to do his shows.
Nice.
Like, I thought he was joking around when I was watching his show at one point, but
Hmm.
I think he still has like I think he still has Connect hooked to it or something because he'll be like Xbox zoom in, and he's doing stuff on the back end. I thought he was just
Yeah.
joking around, but I was like, wait a minute, I think he actually is using his Xbox Series or something,
Yeah.
like voice commands through Alexa or something. Maybe I don't know.
Oh,
But
nice. Let me
it's the
see.
same thing with
Xbox,
like
turn on. No, it doesn't
uh,
know.
um yeah, no, that's he's done it before. He's like zoom out, zoom in and stuff like when he's
Oh, we're probably using
shooting.
the Connect. Yeah, because Connect with the Connect you can talk
Well,
to it.
and you can still do the voice command stuff through Alexa, so it's probably partly through
Oh
that.
yeah, with Alexa. Yeah, because when I had Alexa installed, which I totally forgot that I forgot to install my Alexa again, I could turn on the Xbox and turn it off. Yeah, I could do all
Yeah,
that
I
stuff. Yeah.
so I was confused, but it dawned on me. I
Yeah.
was like, wait, maybe that's what he's doing.
Hmm.
But it's the same thing. Going back to the handhelds is like, yes, this thing is a handheld, but it is also a PC. The thing that I did laugh about was when people were freaking out about the Xbox ROG Ally X. We're like, no, it's not an Xbox, dude. It's literally got an Xbox button on
Yeah,
it.
on it.
It
Yeah.
is literally called the Xbox ROG Ally X. It is literally a partnership between the two of them. Like, you don't have to like that it's an Xbox, but it's an Xbox.
It is an
And
Xbox.
realistically, almost anything is at this point in time. But I think it still offends people who aren't fans of Xbox because the idea that you could play their precious PlayStation games on your Xbox uh, really, really upsets them. Um,
Incredible.
I think that's really part of it. Is like a lot of people just get bent out of shape the fact that you could jump onto Steam and you could be playing Death Stranding 2 right now
Hmm.
on your Xbox,
Hmm. I mean,
technically.
if that Stranded was on Steam, though, I mean, I would have been 100% it because I mean, some people play
Yeah.
Spider Man on the Rogue Ally, some people playing, across the across anything that is an Xbox device because hey, they're making it better for us. That's the beauty about Xbox. They're trying to make it more comfy for us instead of like leaving the like if you turn on the Rock Ally instead of leaving that what's it called? Sound help me out there. That operating system, right? Instead of you jumping out of the operating system to jump into Windows to load up Steam, it's right there. All you got to do is launch the game
Oh,
from Steam. That's it.
yeah, where you're. Are you talking about
Yeah.
the Steam Big Picture? Is that what you're
Like
talking about?
no, I'm talking about like when you see the device, you turn it on. You already see like the Xbox,
Oh, the wrapper. It's the Xbox UI wrapper.
yeah, the Xbox UI. So you're already on the Xbox UI, so you don't have to
Mhm.
like leave the Xbox UI to go to Windows, jump into the game and see because it's right there. All you got to do is look for the game, boom, and just launch. So that's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing for us. We don't have to go through all those headaches that we used to go on before, in order to play a game from Steam or something.
dude. Dustin Lambert in the chat mentions that D-Batch is crashing
Mhm.
out over it being an Xbox. Dude, he is. He is. And
Yes.
I miss. I know he was. I know he was batshit crazy even back then, but I miss when D-Batch was slightly sane and logical when he was back on Dealer's show. I don't know what happened, but when Dealer closed
Mhm.
down his show and disappeared off to take care of himself, and D-Batch had to fend for himself in those mean Twitter streets,
Mhm.
D-Batch lost his shit.
Mhm.
Always out there, he's like, the tools, man, the tools. What
The
do you
tools.
It's like he's always freaking out about it, and he's so upset about Xbox. And it's just like I want to talk to him, just be like, dude, show me on the doll where Xbox touched you. Like what
Exactly.
happened? What happened?
I
Why
don't
are
get
you so
it.
angry?
Why is everyone such on a rampage towards Xbox? Because it's so funny that they went from price hikes, then to 300 million loss, then to no more hardware. Because I'm like, huh? How is this possible in the sanity with AMD just a couple months ago? And the funny thing is, a lot of people were out there scared. They were running crazy, like, oh my God, Xbox is done. I'm like, bro, the only way, and I keep saying this live on the air, and I say this all the time, the only way we know when Xbox is done is when Microsoft comes out and says, listen, we're done with the Xbox, so we're shutting it down. That's the only way we know. We cannot keep falling for these rumors and these clickbaits and all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, oh
I
God.
mean, the thing is like, yeah, we might see hardware go away as far as like stuff
Mhm.
coming from them. I would say this is the last gen that we see stuff specifically from Microsoft as far as
Yeah.
actual consoles. Again, they've got AMD partnership going on right now, so
Hmm.
there's still that support there. They're
Hmm.
obviously working on things for now.
Yeah.
Jez mentioned that too. He's like, for now.
For now.
Things can change, obviously, and
Yep.
they could adjust and they could plan accordingly, and maybe we see them shift the way that they're doing the hardware.
Hmm.
But the thing is like even if hardware went away today,
Hmm.
Xbox isn't gone
Mm-mm.
because Xbox, the ecosystem,
System.
is on everything you have that has
Yep.
a browser.
It wasn't like it
So,
was back in the day, like with Sega.
oh,
When Sega was gone, Sega was gone. That's it. Sega was
oh yeah,
down,
dude.
and
They
now
were
all they do is
clearancing
games,
games
right?
at
That's
Toys
it.
R Us, and
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like
Yeah.
if they went out there right now and they're like, "Hey, we're out," it, I got news for you. Like they've been working on this Xbox UI wrapper that can be used on everything, right?
Hmm.
At the moment, it's only in the Windows Insider stuff. So unless you get in that or you're already in it, you can't use it just yet.
Hmm.
But it's launching with the Xbox ROG Ally X. It's
Hmm.
going to become available to people probably within maybe a month or two after that. The Lenovo Go 2 or whatever the new handheld, that's actually going to have it within about 6 months, it sounds like. And once that wrapper comes out and you can drop that on anything,
Hmm.
in theory, like your Xbox is going with you no matter what. Even if you have a
Exactly.
hardware like an actual Microsoft console or not, you're playing this. This is also part of why I think a while back we had heard talks about how there was going to be a third party Xbox coming out next year. That was one of the things we had heard is that someone was going to be doing one as, same type of thing as the handheld, where it's like it's a collaboration thing
Hmm.
between them and some other company that's now doing this. And that allows Microsoft to reduce the focus on the hardware if they ever chose to do that. And that's
Exactly.
not necessarily a bad thing because they can still keep the brand around for as long as they want.
Hmm.
It's making it more future proof than anything.
Exactly, because like I said, it wasn't like back in the day. Like when Sega said we're out, that means it was out. I mean, that right there and there, we did not see like any console being Sega. Nothing. What we do see now is Sega bringing up games. But now, as you mentioned, the UI and everything that's going to be everywhere, which is a good thing, and that is something that we want and need, right? Because at the end of the day, though, it's like what I say. The beauty behind Xbox is that you don't have to only sit down on your console and play games. The beauty of Xbox is you can play it on your cell phone, on your Fire Stick, on your PC, anywhere you freaking want. That's the beauty behind the box. And the Play Anywhere thing is also a beautiful feature that I really love because, hey, I'm happy that I can buy a game on Xbox and I can go over here and play it on PC without me double dipping. That's another beautiful thing that's cooking out there. That's something that people don't mention a lot or talk about. How beautiful it is to play anywhere, or how nice it is to have this ecosystem being everywhere. That's the best things of Xbox. Because, like as you mentioned, though, right? I mean, I got a question for you and the chat right here. If Xbox decides to not make any more hardware for themselves, right? Like to go out there and make the deals with China factories and all that stuff, make the hardware, right? And a third party decides to make the hardware and it has the Xbox logo on it. It's everything Xbox, just the way, we played on the Xbox app on PC, on the Rock Island and everything. Will you guys purchase that third what is it, third party box? Will
Third
you guys
party.
purchase it? Yeah.
So the thing I'll tell you, and the thing that I'm excited about with it,
Yeah.
I don't know if chat sees it the same way as I do,
Yeah.
but I like the idea, the opportunity that a third party would come in and start building these things,
Hmm.
because if you have third parties that are able to then access this stuff and build the hardware around that wrapper,
Hmm.
you have more opportunities for different specs, different tiers, right? So, like, if you wanted just a very basic system, basically like the Xbox Series S
Hmm.
version or something, someone could make that and they can make it at a good price. They can bring it out there. And then you can have competition. Like, if other people are making systems for it as well, it drives down the cost in competition if other people have some consoles out there as well. I don't mind the idea of like ROG or someone coming out and being like, yeah, we have an Xbox that you can get. And it's a mid-tier system. Like, it allows people to modify and bring out different versions of it specific to those certain things you're trying to go for. Um, for example, the
Hmm.
thing that I'm kind of the thing I mean kind of right is like if you're someone who's not really that concerned about the 4K quality, right? Let's say your focus is just performance.
Huh.
You could have a third party that comes out there and is like, hey, I'm going to put this video card in that's not going to allow you to go past 1080,
Hmm.
but I'm going to up the RAM, I'm going to
Hmm.
up the processor, and I'm going to reduce the bottleneck in other areas so you can have
Hmm.
a system that plays at, say, 120 plus frames per second and that's its focus. Like you could release something like that, and if someone's interested in that, they could get it. Or say you wanted a super beefy one that's like, hey, I want to play everything 1440p or higher.
Or 4K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you could get that, and they could bring ones out. And if you
With
have a couple
120
people that are,
frames.
if you have a couple that are going at each other, it's just like Lenovo and ROG right now. Is
Yeah.
the two that are kind of coming at each other on the handheld side right now.
Can you imagine sounding like having a box that has like a 5090 in it? Let's say I'm just like I got any stuff
Right.
in my head.
Yeah.
5090 in it, six like 128 of RAM and everything,
Mm,
and it has the Xbox logo on it for 15. Well, I'm not gonna say the price so people don't run away, but yeah, because I don't want them to get the idea and then go ahead and do it and say, "Hey, no, it's your fault because it came out at this price." But
they'll do
imagine
it.
having, oh, of course they'll do it, yeah, of course. So that's why I'm not gonna mention it. But imagine it being like at a really good price. So you to say, man, comparing for me to build a PC, I can get this box that has a 5090 in it with Xbox and everything, man. Hey, I would actually consider it and say, man, it's got a 5090 and moving these parts. I mean, hell, we'll go for it. That's such a
See,
good idea.
and again, like Alex ended up touching on this on his show this
Yeah,
weekend, and I agree with him. Is like
yeah,
you've bled the lines at this point, right? So you're talking about like a third party box being an Xbox or whatever. But the
yeah.
thing is like, what if I told you, hey, the system that you just got is actually a PC, but it's just got an Xbox wrapper. That's literally what you're getting in this situation. You could, if they wanted to, they could just slap that wrapper on it because, again, it saves you on resources. It saves approximately 2 gigs of RAM, I think, by
Mhm.
getting rid of some of that other stuff and offloading it. If you have that, like your PC is an Xbox and your Xbox is a PC, you're blurring that line, right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
they could sell it as a PC that just has the Xbox stuff built right into it
Mhm.
and has that dedicated. But at the end of the day, like if you buy a PC or a new Xbox, it's all going to be doing the same thing, I think. I don't think they're
Yeah,
going to only have the Xbox like the Xbox that we have right now, I don't think is going to be the Xbox that we have in the future.
yeah. That's how I see
think
it too.
I
Yeah,
think on the future systems, it's all going to have Windows on the back end.
yeah.
So if you could be playing your Xbox games and then you shift over and you could be using your PC.
Yep. And the beauty of that, if people don't see this, because this is the thing that people don't understand about what's the beauty behind it. It's like what I mentioned earlier with the ROG Ally X, right? When I sat here and I said, well, the ROG Ally X, like when you sit down and think about it, like in Go ahead, I'll mention Go ahead again one last time. But
Damn.
so I'll say it one last time, right? But look, Steam has more than 100,000 games. So imagine having the more than 100,000 games just from Steam, plus the Xbox games, plus the ones that PlayStation do add on, which are a part of Steam too. I mean, you're gonna have the real video game box right here in your homes. I mean, you're gonna have the best box ever made for games. I mean, it's just gonna be there for that. With the option that you can use it for PC, because that's another thing too. These TVs nowadays, let's say the LG C2, C3, all this stuff, they're pretty. I mean, they run as well as monitors too. Kind of funny though, they do. That's how it is now. Right now with these TVs, they're actually competing out their monitors. So it's actually a win-win right there for all of us.
Wes Davis. Wes Davis in the chat. You son of a bitch. That is so mean. That is so mean. You see what you put in there?
What do you put? Is that MBG? Where's MBG at?
Saying I look like MBG.
Ah, damn.
The disrespect.
Oh man, that is just mean. That is mean.
That is not nice.
That is not
Welcome.
nice.
Welcome. But wow, that's cold.
That's cool, dude.
Very
That's cool.
unkind. Do you see anything PlayStation back here? No. It's clearly not MBG.
Well, I mean, I got PlayStation in the box right there, and the PS5 is right now
You
unplugged because it's got
don't look
nothing
like
but.
MBG. You look
Oh,
like
I know.
MBG on vacation
Oh,
and,
look at MBG.
and with hair.
Oh Lord. See, 0099 says the performance will probably be all over the place. This doesn't feel like a product for casuals. Hmm.
So so again, I think that's the thing, right? Is like they could focus it towards whatever they decide they want
Hmm.
it to be. Um, that's that's the interesting thing, the interesting proposition about this. I know some folks aren't very into it, but I kind of like the idea of them being able to be like, hey, here's this system that you have that you can, like we made this so it's designed specifically towards these specs in mind. Because you already have games and stuff that utilize like the performance and the quality modes. So it's like you could easily release something to focus it directly on 1080p with a super high frame rate, and you could also use all of those visual features instead. Or you could have someone that brings out one that's like a 1440 or higher box that's a more premium tier one.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
gives people Jesus, the chat. It gives people the options, right? Like it gives them the opportunities. I understand people's reluctance to the idea of having a third party Xbox, but again, ROG Ally is literally bringing one out right now, and it's basically what it was previous, except for now it has the ability to have that UI wrapper from Microsoft as well, which reduces resource use because they're running a
Hmm.
basically a more lean handheld version of Windows 11.
Yep.
And when you're in that wrapper, it allows you to free up like another couple gigs worth of memory by just running it instead. So that's its primary. Again, I think that's kind of why I'm thinking like with the new systems when it comes out, it's going to end up being a PC, but just with the Xbox wrapper on top of it.
Yep.
Instead of it only being the Xbox UI and operating system, I think it's going to have the option where like you don't have to jump into the Windows side if you don't want it, but it'll be there. It's there. So if you end up deciding you want to use it for something, Windows is there in the background. That's
Hmm.
kind of what I see. It feels like they're leaning very heavily into Windows being part of the bigger picture. And so doing that would allow them to do that. It allow them to implement it more into the actual systems and allow people the option. So
Hmm.
that way your Xbox isn't just an Xbox.
Yep.
Your Xbox has the functionality to be other things. It could be your desktop or it could be your laptop when you're on the road. Like again, I saw a guy that's been using his ROG Ally as his computer when he's on the go
Yeah.
because you've got all of your stuff. You've got your Microsoft suite of tools, your Excel, PowerPoint, Word, all that stuff. You have everything that you need if you need a computer on the go.
Yep. That's how it is. Because I mean, when I had the One X player, right? I remember it like a I think yeah, I did have Windows, and I remember I used it, to work from the One X player. I had a little keyboard, and I was doing all my stuff, on that keyboard. I remember using it for work too, while I was, away visiting, some countries and everything. I remember using that as a PC, so it does work. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you're getting a small laptop, right, with these with buttons and a joystick and everything. And yes, this is Simon's favorite console, right here. Sorry, Simon. I had to do I had to do a little bit of slander with you from this
No,
one.
it's fine. It's fine.
Well,
Like I
this is
said,
a beautiful thing that you got Windows, you got 100 something plus games, and this thing is a gaming machine. Oh man, that's just
I
man.
mean it's not much of a gaming machine. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
that one not. But I'm talking about like if it was a Rock Ally X,
Okay, yeah. The-
yeah. That's what I meant, though. That's what I meant. Because, yeah, like I said, though, this whole week has been crazy. And the sad part about this week is where is the damage control? I see, like, little by little, they're coming out, like, saying, like, a couple things. Like, the price hike isn't going to happen now for those of you who are paying the 30, I mean, the 20 every single month. It's not going to happen right now. We're going to, hold up a bit. I think they're holding up because I have a feeling, silent deep down, I have a feeling that they're gonna come up with like a better tier for the consoles, and have the ultimate, as the extra. I don't know why, but I have that feeling. But at the end of the day, I see like the damage control has been not out there as much as it used to be. Right now, they're trying to like little by little throwing some stuff out there. I mean, one of the things they came out and they were cheering for is like, oh, you got free cloud with ads, no problem. You can use free cloud with ads. I'm like, how is that like right now at this moment of like oh, it's nice. I'm like, oh, I saw this, well, I can't use it, so no benefit for me. So yeah.
and that's hopefully something that they'll fix as time goes on.
Yeah.
Especially because it's almost like the situation that we ran into with PlayStation,
Ooh.
where they had the accounts, right? Where they're like, oh yeah, well you can do this, but you have to have your account, and it wouldn't allow you to actually do it because you were outside of the U.S. Or outside of one of those specific territories that they supported
Hmm.
for that. It's kind of the same thing. Is like I think even Joey said the same thing. It's like I don't give a shit about cloud. And he doesn't give a shit about cloud because he can't use it.
Hmm.
Like it's
Hmm.
literally not part of it. So it does make me wonder if they have a plan. Like you have to have a plan. This system is all over the globe. So what's your plan to allow other people to use this? Because if you have it where it's restricted, that's really going to make it a difficult sell for some folks. Like if you
Hmm.
want to get market saturation, you have to make it so it's functionable across the board. Um, I'd be very curious how long it takes for them to get that squared away, but it's really something that they should get on pretty quick.
Yeah, they should get on real quick because a lot of people out there are furious with this. They're furious because here's the thing, though, Sean. When I sat down and did the math, right? Basically, Xbox, I was giving them $72. I was giving them $72 basically. Like I sit there and I was like, well, I don't use the cloud, I don't use the rewards as much, so I'm pretty much giving them $72. Now it went up to $104. I'm like, well, with $72 is only one, what is it, one restaurant that I sit there, for a day. So that's cool. I don't mind it. One restaurant a month that I sit in a day is cool. Now I'm giving 104. That means I'm like literally inviting three people, to come eat, throughout. Like, oh my god, seriously.
Are
And I
you
was
are
like,
you
no,
hungry? Are you hungry?
no,
Is
I'm
that
not hungry. I'm not hungry. I ate a big old bowl of cereal. It was good. Yeah, I ate a big old bowl of cereal. Yeah, some good. I'm good to go. But that's what I mean though. Like like I sat down and did the math, I was like, man, I'm giving these guys all this money. Now I'm getting $104. I'm like, no, I could save that $104 for something else. But yeah, it's crazy. That price hike was crazy when it came out, especially the time that we're in these days, right? And I
Hmm.
understand, Xbox needs to thrive, Xbox needs to come alive, but okay, cool. I get the ultimate, and the thing is that what I do get is Xbox trying to attract the Fortnite user because Fortnite is one of the most played games on Xbox. Same thing on PlayStation. It's basically one of the most played games on consoles. I get that, but the thing is, what happens to the rest of us that don't actually use it? Give us a tier, give us an option. But let's wait and see what damage control does when they do come out. Tell us about some things because at the end of the day, Xbox needs to come out, and say something, to get people to, actually come down a bit, be like, okay, I like this idea, or like how we say options and everything, to select things. But yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. Now, should we go up on our feelings? I mean, I'll be honest with you, still $30 for the way it is. It's a good price, right? Because at the end of the day, versus the value, right? It's a good price, but still,
You
it's expensive.
shill. You shill.
No, no, no,
You
no, no,
soft
no,
shill.
no, 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 no. I'm just saying, like when I look at it, because at the end of the day, it's
How
ten
dare
thousand
you
dollars.
find value? Jesus.
I know, I know, I know. I'm not finding the value for the, like, for example, if I would have used everything that was in the ultimate, I would have said it's a good value. But since I don't have, like,
Yeah.
I don't use anything, it's still, for me right now, it's not a good value though. As a monthly thing, it's not good as it is. But for the 10,000 games that are put into the $10,000 worth of games that are put in there versus 360 a year, I mean, we cannot argue with that. But at the end of the day, though, for a monthly thing, or
So
like, ooh, no.
yeah. So 30, I mean, like when you bring in the whole picture and you look at it,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think even I think Dustin Lambert mentioned it earlier in the chat
yeah.
about the idea that like when Game Pass first launched, it was 100 games for the $15 or whatever it
Hmm,
was.
hmm, hmm.
So obviously, like as time's gone on, it's expanded. We've gotten more games in here. And so you're talking, it's like 400, 500 plus games are sitting there in Game Pass at this point in time. So $30 value, you could definitely argue it. But it depends on how much you use the service, right?
Exactly.
It's like $30 for most people, probably not actually getting the value from
Hmm,
it.
exactly.
But you look at some other folks, like I think look at someone like Boom, who's retired, who literally does the podcasting and gaming as part of his day to day. He
Hmm,
probably gets more use out of it than I do
exactly.
because realistically, like at the place I'm at in my life, I'm not able to play games all the time. Like, granted, I've
Hmm,
had some free time recently, but I'm not usually able to play very much anymore because my kids are grown up and they're doing a bunch of activities. And so I've got to be parent and I got to run around and do stuff. That is incidentally where Game Pass Cloud comes in clutch. And I'm looking forward to that ROG Ally for it too. Is like
hmm,
being able to play my games when I'm not actually at home is super nice. The cloud is cool, but some of the areas I'm at, like for soccer practice for my kids, don't have the greatest service. So the idea that I can have the games just downloaded onto the system and play them will be a nice thing. Um, but again, it's still like I probably don't get as much value into it as I could.
Uh,
But
so so
but
sophomore.
again,
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
oh, I was just gonna say again for like 500 to 550 games. Yeah, Dustin says 550 for
Yeah,
that many games. Like, yeah, you could justify the value to
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but it's gonna depend on a case by case basis. I can't say that my use is the same as yours
yeah.
or like
Exactly.
Boom's or someone else. Like some people are going to get value out of it in a different way than I do.
Yeah. So software says they don't need to do damage control. They need to tell us exactly what we're paying for. This is why Xbox messaging is always bad. Like, sorry, that software brings this up, and so any suggestions sound that Xbox needs to do better because the thing
Well,
is, on the clip we talk about the messaging. Seriously, it's always about the messaging.
well, you have that poor girl that they sent out there to do the video for the
Oh
Game
my god.
Pass Ultimate
Oh my
update. And I know like I mentioned it on Boom Show and a lot of people were like, I think the girl's gonna be just fine.
god.
But like the way I explained it there is that girl was basically told like, here, have this plate that has a giant gold plated turd on it. We want you to sell this and make it sound like it's the best thing in the world.
Exactly.
And she's like, but it's a pile of shit. And they're like, yeah, but you need to sell it like it's the best thing possible.
Yeah.
And so, like, they sent her out there to basically try and talk this thing up like it was a good change.
Mm-hmm.
And I disagree with that. Like, I think that that
Hmm.
was a screwed situation. Now, granted, she got paid to do it, so it's like whatever, it goes with the job. But it
Yeah.
still sucks anytime that a company is like, "Hey, I need you to say this." Like
Hmm.
I've played damage control for companies before. I've
Yeah.
told you in the past what happened to me when I was in the beer industry.
Hmm.
We had a situation towards the end of my time at a certain brewery where
Hmm.
a whole bunch of cans started exploding
Oh
because
wow.
they started re-fermenting in the can because there was like a wild yeast strain that got into it,
Hmm.
and so I had to run around the state for months, basically playing damage control for a company
Hmm.
in a situation where like I didn't like it, I wasn't happy about it at all,
Hmm.
but I had to try and make the best of the shit sandwich that had been dealt.
Yeah, we gotta
And
defend
I kind of
ourselves.
feel like that was that video for that girl. It's like she got sent out there trying to advertise this thing and make it sound like it was good. And I know all of us were watching that video thinking like, "What?
Yeah, that was
You're trying-
look at what
oh,
sister. She
oh,
even said,
you're limiting me now to $100 in rewards. We will get more
"Your sound went bad, son. Your sound went bad for a second. Your sound went bad. Fix it real quick." Your
can
was
hear."
sister. Okay, I can hear it. What your was sister says. She even said we listen to feedback. I'm like, oh lord. Yeah, remember that? Are you good?
Let's face it. They can you hear me? Am I
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Yeah, you're okay now. You're good.
Let's face it. No one over there wanted to hear the feedback after that video. Like I know they're like, we want to hear your opinions. No, they don't want to hear our opinions
See?
because a lot of people were like, you're trying to give me a shit sandwich and make it sound like it's just the
Hmm.
best thing ever. And
Hmm.
no,
Yeah.
um, again, there's good value, but the things that they added to try and justify the value, I disagree with.
Yeah, we disagree with you. Yeah, a lot of us do. A lot of us do. And not only that, Sam, one last thing. Do you think PS Plus is gonna get a price hike? Do you think all these guys are gonna hike the prices at the end of the day?
Wait,
PS,
do I think what's going to get price hike?
like for example, PS Plus, because lately we've been seeing all these months they're putting up really
Oh.
good games.
So yeah, so interesting that right. Like
Yeah,
when you look at what PlayStation Plus got this time, they've got Silent Hill. They had
Alan Wake
was it Death Stranding?
2.
I,
Yeah.
f- I forget what it was. They had damn it, what was the other game that was in there? Oh, that's right. They had Alan Wake 2. I think they
Hmm.
had Death Stranding, and then they had Silent Hill 2.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean the thing is like is PlayStation Plus going to go up? Yeah, I would imagine.
Hmm.
I Everyone else is doing it at this point in time, and Sony's going to run into the same situation that Microsoft is, where they're going to realize like, oh shit. we're not making as much as we would like. So we're going to increase the cost on the people that we have currently subscribed so we can make more money.
Hmm.
Happens all the time. And it's not a good look. It's I don't appreciate it as a consumer. But yeah, I would not be surprised at all if Sony within the next 6 to 8 months increases. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Wouldn't surprise me. I want to see what's going to happen out there. It's going to be interesting to see how people are going to react to this and how media is going to react to this because,
They
man,
say shit. They won't say shit. Is the
no, they won't. They won't. They won't. I mean, even we saw something that happened that I was like, I'm waiting for people like to go on an uproar because I would have been an uproar. Imagine you silent. Let's give you an example. Let's say, for knock on wood, that this doesn't happen. Your Xbox decides, like, okay, it's done, right? So you're like, well, I got to get a new Xbox because, damn it, my Xbox is, got broken or whatever, sending it to get fixed, to get fixed. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Okay, let me go buy a new Xbox, right? Imagine you go out there and you buy the Series X again, and the storage went down to 825 when it used to be 1 terabyte, and you're paying the same amount of money as it was for that 1 terabyte. Would you be happy about that?
No.
No,
Personally,
exactly.
I wouldn't be.
I
Um,
would. Yeah.
I've got a request in the chat. Apparently, G maybe said,
What?
"Good beer campaign voice said, say Beechwood aged." So let's say, try this new coffee infused imperial stout, now Beechwood aged. There you go.
How
How about that?
about that?
No, I when I saw that, I was pretty shocked because honestly,
Yeah.
like it came and went. People saw that they had reduced the storage space on that sucker, and they're like, "Oh, gee, but look over there!" Like
Exactly.
people did not want to accept that, and we were all sitting over here like, "What the shit is this?" Like
Mm-hmm.
we all had a field day because it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time that the other company ends up doing something stupid, it's
Hmm.
fun to revel and enjoy it. The only
Right.
problem is we oftentimes forget that if Sony or Microsoft does something stupid, the other one's going to do something equally stupid or more stupid
Mm-hmm.
shortly after. It's like it's how it goes every single time.
Mm-hmm. That's how it is, son. It's always like that. At the end of the day, I've been saying this for quite some time, and that's how it is. If prices go up for one, all of them will follow. That's what happens. And I see the storage thing being reduced. I'm like, okay, why isn't people talking more about this? Why isn't people,
Nintendo charged $80 for video games, and
game?
all of a
Yeah,
sudden, other people started charging $80 for
$80 for
video
video
games.
games. Yeah, not not
Isn't
not
that
only
weird how that works?
no, no, exactly. $80 for digital, and how much is for the physical? $90. Let's
Yeah,
let that sink in. Yeah, good. Yeah.
that hurts a
No,
little bit.
that hurts a little bit. And then when we see it, I mean, what is their excuse? Hey, Nintendo, they didn't want y'all fighting them. That's it.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
it wasn't a good look for them. But
Nope,
yeah,
it wasn't.
back to that. Like obviously, um, the media is not going to end up making it a big thing when Sony increases the price. It's going to be like that meme that you see of Jeff Keighley, where
Yeah,
when Microsoft does something horrible, he's like all excited. And then
yeah.
when it's something that he has to announce about Sony, he's going to be like really somber and
This summer
look
sad.
like he had just had the worst day of his life. Uh,
Yeah.
it's going to be that over and over again. Every time this happens, the shills that are out there that are going to ignore it. The ones that are going to acknowledge it but not say a damn thing, which is the entirety of IGN. IGN's going to be like, yeah, that's a thing. But they're not going to talk about it at all. They're just going to acknowledge that it happened. And then they're going to move on because they don't want to talk about it because it's their precious.
Look at 1D. He says storage was not the only thing that changed. They're using different internals to lower their manufacturing cost. Yes,
Yeah.
because I mean, even Austin Evans came out and was like, "That's some good engineering." I mean, they even lowered like the weights and something like that. But at the end of the day, they're still charging you $500 for that damn same thing you've been.
And I think that's the biggest kick in the nuts
Mm-hmm.
across all these systems over this last generation. Like,
Yep.
I, whether you're a PlayStation fan, Xbox fan, Nintendo, whatever, I think we can all agree that we've all been kicked in the nuts pretty hard this generation
Price hikes and everything.
when it
Yep.
comes to pricing. Because look
Yep.
at it. The Nintendo Switch went up in price. The
Yeah.
Xbox, both of them went up in price.
Price.
The PlayStation's up in price.
Price. Yep.
Remember the old generations? Like I remember when I got my original Xbox and I got two games bundled in with it.
Mhm.
I got an extra controller and I think the whole thing cost me like 180. And that
Ooh,
was only like a year or so after the system came out.
wow.
Um,
Wow.
and you could do the same thing with like PlayStation and like the GameCube at the time. Like we used to see discounts as these systems went on because just like what Austin Evans said, they go in, they rework the system, they find ways to cost cut here and there where they can.
Mhm.
Certain items, certain peripherals, different things like additional details and additional items in the box, like motherboard stuff like that. The prices go down usually, but the problem is this generation has not been that.
Mm-mm.
Everything's gone up over and over again. So like even when they made like cuts or they were able to make improvements that were cheaper for them, they're not seeing as much of a price cut for their actual materials that they
Nope.
have to get. So they're just going to give us that higher price.
Nope. That's how it is. I mean, before price cuts, now it's just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
Dude,
And
I, I got that Xbox One S when they introduced the HDR.
mhm,
I got that thing for 190 like a month after it got announced, and it
yeah,
came with a copy of 4K Deadpool. It came
nice,
with a $25 gift card, and it came with an extra controller. And that was a Black
nice.
Friday deal.
That's
Like
good.
if you're lucky this Black Friday, the consoles will be down by like $50, which means they're about the price that they cost when they first came out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh
that
Lord,
sucks. That's
that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But yeah, that's how it is. We're in a gen where just everything keeps going up. Don't understand, but hey, it is what it is, right, Sal? It is what it is. But shout out to the 36 people here on the show. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And also hit that bell. Go ahead and do it. Press it and hit it. Let's go.
hit that thing so you can know whenever Crazy Lou is on here to talk about getting cold head.
You're getting cold. Yeah, exactly. Getting my cold. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, chat, listen up. I guess this is the show, Sal, because I mean, we pretty much covered everything that's been happening all across the whole week. I mean, this has been one crazy week. All everything bad news on Xbox. I guess pretty soon we're gonna hear some good news. I mean, oh, breaking news! Of course, I totally forgot. They're gonna do another showcase in Thailand. That's gonna come out soon. That
yeah.
was an interesting one, because they've never been there, So it's gonna be nice to see that happening. I mean, anything you want to add to that, Simon, before we head out?
Um, yeah, no, I just when you guys sent me that earlier, I thought you guys said that had happened previously, and
No, it's never
I was
happened.
confused because I was like, I swear I've never seen a Southeast Asia show
Yeah.
specific. So it does make me ask the question of like, what specifically are we going to see?
Exactly. We're
Um,
gonna see Ninja Gaiden again, or we're gonna see because that
I'm
Tokyo show was like it was okay, but it was like the
yeah,
bad. I mean, it was
I'm
really
sure
bad.
they'll show Ninja Gaiden again, of course, and of course they're going to target some stuff towards more of the Asian market.
Yeah, let's see what they bring in. That's gonna be
So
nice.
that being said, like maybe we'll end up seeing more on Final Fantasy news or something. If
Mhm.
you're into it, there might be some stuff for that. The date is kind of interesting because I think it was the 16th through the 18th of this month, which
Two
means that the
two
show
days.
starts. The show starts the day that the Xbox ROG Ally X comes out.
Hold on, let me
Um,
see. Really, it does? Oh Lord, hold on.
yeah, yeah, it's on the 16th. I think is when it starts.
Oh, so that means I got 2 days of streaming there. Okay.
Potentially. And
What's up
I
to
have
him?
no idea what the hell you're going to be talking about because, again, like this is a new one. So
Uh,
I don't know what they're going to do to cover that time over 2 days.
yeah, it's gonna be
Probably
interesting though.
they'll probably have the same thing as the last one, right? Where it's like I think Gamescom they had 2 or 3 days where they were doing like deep dives. It's probably going to be that.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be that. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what they bring to the table because really, I hope it's not more Ninja Gaiden stuff because really, they've been kicking that all over the place.
It's going to be Ninja Gaiden stuff. Um,
No.
real quick though, so we didn't really talk about it here,
Okay, well,
but
bring it.
um, I was just thinking because I heard some people talking about it a little bit. I think given the 25th or yeah, given the 25th anniversary is
Mhm.
coming up, or
Yeah,
is it?
yeah,
Yeah,
25th. Yes, the
yeah.
25th.
Sorry, God, I feel like I'm losing track of time.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fast.
I think we're going to end up seeing whatever they have planned as far as consoles go at the Video Game Awards again, just like when we saw the
You think
Xbox
so?
One X. Yeah,
I think. I mean, I have a feeling too because I have a feeling because listen, I'm ready for next gen. I've been saying it. I'm ready for next gen. I'm ready to talk about more next gen. You know, it's time to bring it up. I mean, they have been putting little bits and pieces about it, but yeah, I think it's time for them to really bring it up to get people excited. You know, to get people happy to see if there actually is going to be a next Xbox box because everybody's like worried about it. You know, not everybody, but a lot of people are sorry worried
there's
about
going to be
it.
for
So
sure.
they gotta show us something. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what brings up in the Game Awards. If they bring it up, if it's gonna be like by the end of 26, starting 27, because hey, it's time. It's time to jump to next gen, right? It's time.
Yeah.
It's time to do it. But chat, like I always say, before I go, tell me what you've all been playing. Or before we go, sorry, because I'm accustomed to like the morning shows. What you've all been playing. It's always nice to see what chat's, been playing.
Rangy 4 in there. He's like, Silent Cipher reminds me of Zordon from the Power Rangers. I
Really?
I
Hello,
could see that.
Rangers. Hello, Rangers. I mean, I don't know if you can do that voice though.
Alpha, Rita's escaped.
Not, not that close though.
What was the what was it?
What?
Assemble a group of teenagers with
Teenagers with
attitude.
attitudes, yeah, and they don't even have any attitudes. What attitudes do they have though?
Assemble a group of teenagers with
With
attitude.
attitudes, and you
No,
look at these
I don't
teenagers
think
and like,
I don't think it's very close. I think I'm very pasty white, just like he was, but I
oh.
don't think I can do the voice. Sadly, that's not one of the ones in my repertoire.
No, I don't think so though. He says it just be Tomb Raider, and now start Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Nice, you get to play.
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice.
Those are so good.
Yeah, and they're not that long. Something we need. Not much
I
longer
think
games,
I
please.
think I actually still have to go back and play through Shadow of Tomb Raider because I don't know if you ran into the same thing, Lou, but when I was playing those first two games, I found myself running around trying to find all the extras, like all the stuff throughout the maps,
Yeah,
because they ping everything for you, right? And they give you like X amount that you can get on each map or each area. And so I always found myself like sitting there banging my head into the wall trying to find all those different items. I think I was doing the same thing with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I don't think I ever beat the game because of it. I think I just got sidetracked.
yeah. So, real quick though, did you play the new COD? Did you try it out? Because I haven't played it yet.
Yes, yeah.
How is it?
So
How
I
is it?
actually did play some of that this weekend with Zilchius. Shout out to Luke.
Yeah.
So we played a little bit of that, and I also actually played with RSJ. Far K was there.
5K.
Yeah, we had a few folks on. It was good.
Nice.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the problem I was running into was because I was going back and forth from Chronos to Call of Duty. The pacing of those games is so drastically different that I
Yeah.
continued to get my nuts stomped every time I jumped into Call of Duty. Like I don't think I ever really even got like a kill streak reward on that damn thing because I
Wow.
just kept getting it kicked in. Um, but I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's it's Call of Duty, right? Is like,
Uh,
it's not going to break your expectations. It's Call of Duty.
it's
It's
Call of
another
Duty.
Call of Duty.
It's another Call of
And
Duty.
and I enjoyed it. I look forward to playing more of it when it comes out fully. But yeah.
Look at me, the broke boy Louis with a beautiful and awesome $2 super. Cha 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 cha. He says, Louis, they announced new content coming to Expedition 33. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on Louis' morning show. We're going to tackle that one down because I saw that today. I always like when breaking news comes out, I always let like the news break in a little bit more. So that way, I can collect more info to talk about it. But yeah, I'm excited for that too. He's excited for it. That's pretty cool stuff, man. That game is, woo. I don't know if you played it, Silent, but it's really a good game. It's really good.
Uh, I started it. I need to get I need to get back because I started it and I
Yeah.
think I got to. I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone in here, but when like things change early on, like right after the initial intro, I think it's right as they show the actual like
Hmm.
title screen
Yeah.
and introduce you after you see the first event happen. That's
Uh,
that's about where I got to.
oh, nice,
Um,
nice,
I
nice.
need to get back to it, but something ended up pulling me uh, a different direction. I forget what it was, but something got me sidetracked. So
Yeah, no, it always happens because we got all these games coming up all the time. So yeah,
yeah.
it happens. It happens. But chat, thank you all for hanging out with us today on this very cool, special episode of XPI. This is episode 151. We're happy, to be here to do a regular XPI episode because, man, it's been a long time. So I can't wait, till we all get our schedules in to do regular shows like we used to, on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. or another day because I don't know, we have to, finally decide when are we going to come back or how we're going to do it or, we have to sit down and have our talks. But Silent Man, thank you for coming on, man. Really, it's been fun. It's been a blast. We had a good conversation today, blasting off everything that was happening out there, having some fun like we always do. But Silent, please tell everyone where they can find you, sir. Oh.
Okay. Well, as far as where you can find me on most social media except for Twitter. Just search Silent Cipher. You'll find me around Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, I think, a few other places. Besides that, obviously catch me on Xbox playing games. If you're up for some multiplayer and I'm around at the time, feel free to add me on there and we can play some games as well. Besides that, let's see. This Friday, you'll end up seeing me, I think, on Fright Nights with Ferocious V. I believe we have an episode coming, but there might be a possibility where Fee and Fuzzy are still traveling, so I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
Just keep an eye on that one. Make sure you're subscribed there and just watch out on Blue Sky, I think is usually where we post it.
Hmm.
Um, Besides that, not going to catch me much. I'm just kind of busy with life stuff right now, so I'll see you all again very soon. I'm sure I'll see you all in chats. I like to jump into shows and lurk, so
Yeah, and pick on me all the time because of stuff
and
like
pick on Louis all the time because Louis needs to have a recorder with him so he can record everything he says in a day and then listen back over it and
that. Hey,
Google it maybe to
good.
see. Oh, I just activated my phone because I said Google. Um, so yeah. Anyways, that's me. But Louis, where can we find you? Are you doing anything besides your morning shows this week?
No, no, I'm not doing anything besides my morning shows. I'm just gonna tackle everything, with the morning shows. We just been doing that. That's all I've been doing. Just doing the morning shows. You can find me right here. Good morning with Crazy Little Gaming from Mondays to Saturdays. Sometimes on Saturdays I jump, sometimes I don't. But hey, it's all about scheduling. It's all about timing because we've been busy. It's been one crazy week. John TJ with a beautiful and awesome $2 super chat 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 chat. He says, "Hi guys, show tonight." No, no, no. We're doing the show right now. We got an opportunity to do XBI today, so we said, okay, let's do it. In the morning. So we're here doing it. So yeah, there won't be no show tonight, man. I'm sorry, but because we're busy in the evenings, man. It's been crazy scheduling for us. But yeah, you can find me also on Twitter X as Crazy Lou Gaming, Blue Skies Crazy Lou Gaming, Discord, and our own personal Discord. I keep telling you guys, hey, join our Discord. We have fun conversations. We also have a pick on Louis section. And it's been a while. People have done some pick on Louis stuff in there, but hey, fun stuff here. I'll post it right here on the show. If you guys want to jump in and join it, it will be fabulous. But yeah, that's where you can find the crazy one, man. And Silent again, thank you for hopping on and chat like always. Thank you guys for being here with us, man. It's really been a blast. So chat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell so I can tell you when XBI content comes on. And remember, let's go, let's rock, and let's ignore what the media says and have some fun playing games. Yes, see you all next time when we do hop on XPI. And also see you guys tomorrow morning on Good Morning with Crazy Luke Gaming. Bye, y'all. Have an awesome one. Where's the outro? Here it is.